Hello, hello, people of the internet. It is I, Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order. Where today, we're doing more interludes. I'm running very low on them, though. Very, very low on interludes, I am. I think I've got, like, 6 left, maybe? Hey, I was right on the money. I also forgot to do this rank up quest in between streams. It's fine, I've been doing the event rerun to get that quartz and bond. Speaking of which, I do have to lead things off with this. Also, if you are watching this, please make sure you like the video, comment down below, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Where is it again? Bond level. Blind, I am. But bond level release, we can officially now get to bond 12 on most of the waifus. I thought, yeah, there she's just slower. Okay, I gotta remember, I need to grail Summer Shelter. Need to grail her up. But yes, I got the 3 waifus that have been in the back line of my squads for months now, all the way up to bond 12, so now we can start working on bond 13. And it is going to cost us an unknown amount of bond. I'll be able to calc that out here relatively short, but both shelters and Achan. Base Achan. Poor Kama and Lam Lam have been sort of relegated to the back lines of this whole thing, because Aresh is also getting pumped up to bond 15 as well, because I kind of want to get her there with Summer Aresh coming around soon, but yeah, both Camis and Idol Altar are kind of locked right now. But this isn't the only thing I'm going to do at the start of the stream. We are also going to come down to the class score. Actually, I don't think I can yet, because I have not yet claimed the reward. First, let's go ahead and clear out our present box that is still bulging, because we've not gotten a super XP thing anytime recently. Just rolling in the login stuffs. I also haven't done that. That being, clearing out my CEs. Yeah, I gotta make note to do that, otherwise I'm gonna completely forget again. But if we go here, we have master mission stuff. Weekly master missions. Not all complete. We go here, we get a little bit... Oh, we get teapots. I did not realize we get teapots. Yes! Teapots are really good. How many teapots is that? That is... only 2? Really? Show me all of them. It's just more quartz. Complete all daily missions for... I did do that! The heck, game? I did all the daily... Whatever. But, more importantly, if we go here, we got Observant to Bond 6. Hajime was the next closest one in actuality, not Charlemagne, so I went ahead, got him to Bond 6, and now I get another... Ba-ba-ba-bum! Torch of the Morning Star! Yes, with that Torch of the Morning Star, I can officially come down to the class score. You know, these should have, like, special things for when you've completed them, because I have completed Extra 2. I mean, like, look at that. It's glorious. But we're going to go to Extra 1, and even though it only has Avenger accessible right now, that's still good enough for me. We're gonna unlock the last of Extra 1. And if I've done my math correctly, I should have enough sand to do this. Penultimate. And the final click is indeed enough sand. Yes. The Extra 1 class score is complete. So both of the extra class scores are done, and we are actively working on Lancer. I don't remember what our stop points were. More of the torches. Yeah, because there's no more Bleached Earth. I think there's one torch I can get through quests at the current point. Master mission quests, that is. And we need 3 right now. Probably a little bit more. Let's see if I can't get to the point where I need 4 officially. Yes, I'm officially at the point where I need 4 torches in order to finish off the Lancer, as well as a lot of sand. Let's see, 120 is 310, 470, 600, 730, 890. Yeah, it's a lot of sand, so I'm not going to be finishing the Lancer class score for quite a while, but that's fine. That is more than fine. What do I have for the wardrobe unlocks? I don't remember. Oh, unlockable with a ticket. Sure. That must... Oh, this was... I didn't love them. Okay, I get this. This was from the Arjuna Altar Chaldea Boys event. Was the glasses thing, wasn't it? I guess I don't really check the wardrobe stuff that often, so... Yeah. It's not surprising I missed that. Really not surprising. Is there anybody else I can get for free? Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's enough stalling. Actually, what is the summonings? I don't even know what this summonings are. Yeah, no, 9, niet, no, 9, niet, no. I am slowly building up a repository again, though. I effectively have 390 quartz for some rolls, and we're slowly getting more. In fact, we'll be getting more today, because Interludes! Alright, so I think I can get away with doing 2 today. Maybe. It kind of depends, because that's 36, that's 72. Maybe get away with doing 2. We'll find out. And let me bring up the level up order doc, because I don't know who is the next one on the list. Just so I can see if there's a chance that I'll be unlocking another one soon. It is Romulus, it looks like. Okay, he does have one, so once we get enough resources to do another level up, we will be getting another interlude. Possibly a string of... No, wait, that's not Romulus, that's Caligula. Duh. Caligula... Yes, okay. So, we do have a good chance of getting more if we continue leveling up servants, but that is a big if for now. We're gonna just jump into the Phantom of Troia, Penthiselia interlude. Can you let me pick anybody? Yes, you will. Alright. So, we're gonna go with this squad, and Emiya, your time to getting Bond is done, as we now can put Shelter back in. But, just a quick showcase. So, 224,000. So, if I were to do only the Bleached Earth quests, I would have Aresh done in about, get roughly 12k a day. I'd say 19 days, probably. Maybe 18, 19 days. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 18, 19 days for Aresh just off Bleached Earth. Now the big question. Ooh. 1.36 million. Okay. That is 4 zeros. I'm not gonna try and do the math off the top. So that is about 113 days of Bleached Earth only will get Achan here up. So less than 3 months. Excuse me, which is good, and I do believe everybody is the same bond count, so yes. We are approximately we are 114 days, if we were only to do Bleached Earth stuff, to getting Bond 13 for the Jolters and for Achan. But we're going to do more than just the Bleached Earth, so I'm hopeful that we will get them to Bond 13 by summer. which means more resources to rolling for Summer Achan and Summer Aresh. Yeah! But I think that's enough stalling. Press OK, because I need Jelter in there, but I forgot that this is the Scotty in the back line. There we go. And let's roll and see what this interlude for Penthiselia is all about. Woo! Chaldea Depths. A. What's the password? P. Hey, I guessed right. It looks like everyone we invited to the meeting is already here. Sorry, we're late. Nah, you're right on time. The rest of us just showed up early is all. Hector, don't be a people pleaser. Okay. So we have Holmes and Big Da Vinci. So this takes place in the Epic of Remnant time period. So it has the potential to be longer, I suppose. Oh, I missed a line. I was just thinking we might need to address this little issue, and this seemed like a good chance. I concur, though really I must ask, was it truly necessary to call in the professor for this? To whom else might Master turn when seeking true intelligence? He's not concerned with trifling things like good and evil. He merely wishes to bring as many capable minds to bear on the issue as possible. Were I you, I would take this as a sign of how very dire the situation truly is. Or are you so caught up in your elementary deductions and obsessions that you fail to see the purity of Master's genuinely good intentions? Oh, great detective. I never thought I would see the day when an evil genius lectured me about good intentions. Still, you're right about one thing. This is in part a problem of sensitivity. And we can certainly use a multitude of opinions on how best to deal with it. My thoughts exactly. The fact that we're all here at least means we share the same goal. So let's try to get along. Okay, everyone? Why don't you take a seat wherever you like, Master and Mash, and then we can get started. What's this all about? Also, it's weird how it's sort of like a... It's not fisheye lens. Like, they've got a telescopic lens in where it's blackening out or darkening out the background, like the edges. Alright, I'm pretty sure everyone here is on the same page, but just to be totally clear, left unchecked, this ANP problem could end destroying Chaldea as we know it. Ah, Achilles and Penthiselia. Okay, this is what this is about. What's our current status, Hector? I'd say we're just barely hanging on by a thread. Pretty on. Luckily for us, P doesn't know that A's here. That may be, but the situation remains far too precarious for comfort. Other servants are taking great pains not to speak A's name in front of P. But then there are plenty of servants who delight in mischief and destruction with no such qualms. I can only surmise that the reason that such servants have not already done so is because they are unaware of A and P's relationship, or the fact that the situation is as volatile as it is. Which is to say that we have thus far avoided disaster through only good fortune. Then, to put it another way, it's just a matter of time until P finds out about A. Right, when all we have to rely on is luck, things can take a very bad turn very quickly. So while P is completely unaware of while P is completely unaware of A being here, we should take this opportunity to come up with a plan. Sentiments agreed, which is why it's so smart of Senpai to think to hold this meeting. Sure, but if we don't come up with something feasible, then we'll just have been spinning our wheels here. Hey, Zahak, welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. How be things? How be things? If it weren't so directly involved, I'd be headed to the hills even as we speak. Then again, P only came along after I died, and I only really know about A because he killed me. Hang on, does this mean this isn't my problem? I can run away and let someone else handle it. I understand that you may have a complicated relationship and maybe not be a very close relationship with them, but you are closer to them than anyone else here. Oh! Someone's listening in, and that's what the whole shadowy corners are about, isn't it? Because I was just complaining about that, but somebody else is listening in, aren't they? Please, help us keep Chaldea safe. Yep, don't worry, I was just joking. No sense running away from home when it leaves you with no home to come back to, after all. Relationship. Good point. We should begin by making certain that we are all working with the same fundamental understanding of these two. And the best one suited to confirm that is, of course, you, Mr. Soul. Would you be so kind to tell us your impressions of A and P again? No need to worry about maintaining objectivity. The question is, what does she think of him and what does he in turn think about her? Looks like P's here right now, maybe? Hey, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that. I certainly understand that. I work on my story every night, roughly about 2K words. And I think I'm doing a good pace, personally. And just as I thought, the relationship couldn't be more hostile if they worked at it. I think your impressions are right on the money, Soul. And it's hard to tell if P was always like this, or if her berserker tendencies have affected her original personality. But it's not just that she wants to kill A, though that's certainly a significant motivating factor. More than anything, she wants to avenge the humiliation she suffered at his hands in the past. Oh, fully understandable. I mean, you've got a full-time job, too, something I'm still struggling to figure out. Gosh, people just are not hiring. Which is to say, she wants to face him again, fair and square, warrior to warrior, and win. I mean, I've been keeping up with my LinkedIn, but nothing is responding. I don't think that the Walmart near me is hiring, unfortunately. Because I've considered it. I've considered, like, looking for a job that is not associated with what I went to college for, but just nowhere's hiring. At least, I don't think they are. I've not seen anything about them hiring or not. And I have been looking. Like, I've been looking at, I think Indeed is the website that a lot of people use for local job hunting and that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, A's just going around saying, I don't mind making amends by letting her kill me, but if I die, I won't be able to help Master anymore. I knew it. We're screwed. I'm gonna have to make a run for it after all. This is all beyond me. I think A might be consciously trying to give P her space. It seems to me like he's being careful as possible to not run into her by accident. I like to think I'm pretty good at giving people the runaround myself. So I can tell you pretty confidently that him doing so is his way of saying he has no intention of fighting her. Why is that? Because he thinks if they fight, he'll end up killing her. He can't really imagine any other outcome. Damn! Achilles thinks he can low diff Penth. Damn. I mean, he's done it once before, so... And since if he killed her, she wouldn't be able to help Master anymore, he doesn't want to do that. But let's say Master wasn't a part of this equation, and so that wasn't a concern for him. Since he says he'd be willing to let her kill him, the answer is obvious. Once again, he would refuse to fight and simply offer himself up to be killed. Right, in either case, there's no scenario where he gives her the fight she wants so much. That does sound like a serious problem. Hey, couldn't possibly misunderstand what P wants more. He just thinks she's upset about him killing her. Oh, no, it's more than that. It's the things he said while she died that P is upset about. Hey, Infinity Lord, welcome, welcome, welcome to stream. Happy things, happy things. So can't we just explain it to him and clear up the misunderstanding that way? No, I don't think someone else telling him would make any difference. One's a berserker and the other's a hero known for his unfailing strength of will. That, may be the nice way of saying he's a stubborn ass who only does things his own way. At any rate, we might be able to convince A or even brainwash him, but I don't see that working on a berserker. That sounds much like the relationship between a great detective and a villain. And that their very natures make it impossible for them to coexist. At least perhaps that is the case for the versions of Rider A and Berserker P here in Chaldea. What's this? A professor of mathematics already giving up a solution on solving our little puzzle. How shocking, or are you no longer listing mathematics as a specialty? Ha! Mathematicians are not too proud to admit that there are some things even mathematics cannot tell us, Holmes. Hey, Jigster, welcome, welcome. Happy things, happy things. No, I said a different A word. Completely different. And hey, that's good, Infinity Lord. That's good. Consistency is key. Perhaps I should offer you a refresher on irrational numbers, or how a circle's diameter is proportionate to its circumference. You two can bicker all you want later. I swear it'd be a blessing if the conflict between A and P was as straightforward as the one between you two. I know this is a difficult problem to solve, but the whole reason we're all here is that we just can't ignore it. That's exactly right. If we don't do something, it will only be a matter of time until they run into each other, and the result of that will be catastrophic. So we have to figure out some way to improve their relationship as much as possible. Well, if you want their relationship to improve as much as possible, what we do is we engineer a scenario wherein we, the Master of Chaldea, are in distress in some random singularity, and those two are the only ones that can be deployed to help, and they'd have to be forced to work together to save me. I think that'd be an excellent way of getting them to work together. And then we don't say anything about it all being fake and no real danger. We have to make sure that never gets out. I don't think so. Good grief, we certainly know how to take the fun out of a good evil scheme. Rest assured we have not given up. We are just about to begin deliberations on the best possible solution. Great. So now that the two smarty pants have put their minds to it, I think this old man should go ahead and take his leave. Nice try. I swear, something about you serious types always messes me up. Not that I've ever really properly faced one before, but still. The best I've been able to do is throw something at them from as far away as I can manage. That's enough of that. You're not getting out of this. Besides, you owe her, don't you? Well, sure. I really am grateful to her for keeping Troy safe after I kicked the bucket. I heard things looked really bad for a while once I was gone, so all of Troy might have folded if she hadn't come along. Hell, the war might have ended so fast that Odysseus wouldn't have ever had to bother making the Trojan horse. It would have been a massacre. Well, even more of one than it already was. Okay, fighting on the defensive side is my specialty, and I guess you could say this is a battle to protect Chaldea. Can I take that as your consent to participate in our plan? What else can I do, right? But you'll have to forgive me if I end up running away. Like I keep saying, I don't ever want to fight Achilles again if I can help. Uh-oh. What the hell? The whole reason we're using codenames is because it's too dangerous to even mention their real ones right now. You realize that, don't you? That's why you've got to call him A, damn it. I'm afraid it's too late now. Who said Achilles? Ah! She just burst in through the wall like it was nothing. Man. It must suck to be in this Chaldea if you have Achilles tendonitis. Like, you can't even say your medical condition without her bursting into the room like the Kool-Aid Man. Romani would be rolling in his non-existent grave. I mean, I could see it, because it's possible some artwork got destroyed there. Plus, Da Vinci is all about beautiful things, and you cannot say that word around Penthiselia. I know I heard his name, and if I heard his name, that means he must be here. Yes, I can smell him. He must be here. He must be. Achilles! Where is he? Where could he be? Are you sure he's really here? Maybe you're just imagining things, you know? That'd be my guess. I mean, look around. He's not here, right? So I'm pretty sure he isn't anywhere in Chaldea either. Hector! Shut up, Hector. The smell. Is that a Greek man? Yes, I smell grease on you, and that can only mean you are Achilles. There you are, Achilles. Are you kidding me? I'm a Trojan, born and raised. If anything, I'm on your side, damn it. I'm afraid she's no longer able to listen to reason. There's nothing like seeing a true berserker at work. Hey, this is not funny. Help me, would you? Really, this all depends on how she defines what a Greek man is. In your case, you may have spent so much time fighting the Greeks that their blood and sweat ended up marking you with their scent. Calm analysis is really not going to do much for me here. If you're going to make me promise not to run away and abandon you guys, the least you could do is return the favor. And we will. First, we have to get her to calm down. Sol, you handle the orders. Let's try to restrain her as peaceful as we can, Master. No, because, you know, she's unconsensually sniffing Hector, and I'm pretty sure Hector's got a wife. Also, where the heck did these Amazons come from? Like, really, since when can Penthiselia just summon Amazons? Did I miss that as part of her skill set? Very beyond. Alright, but it's looking like this won't be too difficult an interlude. Yeah, especially with her not having a break bar. I was kind of worried she might, considering what era this epic remake takes place in, but it seems to be fine. Although, maybe not as strong as I would like, because I'm using double Scotties rather than double Koyan, but... You know what? Fair point. She is the CEO of Amazonas. So summoning up a bunch of Amazon delivery people would definitely be within her prerogative. Excellent observation there, Jakester. I can't remember, does Servant vs. Penthiselia not have an issue with Achilles? I really can't remember. Pardon the yawn. The next one. And even though I just complained about it, we're going to go with the second verse, same as the first. Some death with free shipping. That'd be assassins, though. How did we end up here? Where am I? So this is a battlefield, but why? Do I know this place? Morning, Penthiselia. You're my master. Yes, I recognize you. How about me? Do you know who I am? He's confronting a wolf. Yes, I know you. As I recall, you are Hector of the Shining Helmet. You are the son of King Priam and the Queen Hecuba. You are the Prince of Troy, wielder of the sacred sword Durandal. Yeah, that's right. Looks like getting that earlier rampage out of her system helped her calm down a bit. Okay, so if you remember who I am, you should remember this place too, right? This is Troy, my home. I'd give anything to keep it safe. And this is the battlefield where you and your Amazons came to help us. It's strange. What is this nagging feeling at the back of my mind? Hey now, no spacing out on the battlefield, alright? Where else are you going to find Troy's crown prince fighting for his homeland? Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Yes, I remember now I made a terrible mistake once, and so came to save Troy, hoping to atone. Never mind the backstory. Didn't you also think this would be a perfect chance to demonstrate the Amazon's strength and bravery to the world? That's why you brought along your finest warriors, isn't it? Yes, I did. Are they here? What am I saying? Of course they are. I brought them. You bet they're here. Da Vinci went all out making sure this simulation was as realistic as possible. I mean, never mind! Good lord. Ugh. You know, I think that we need to open a casino and suggest Hector come and visit it with all of his money, because he has a terrible poker face. And we would be able to clean him out. They should all come if you call. Agreed. Heed my call, my valiant Amazons. Your queen, Penthiselia, is here. Alright. Prepare for some butchering of Greek names. Presumably Greek names. Kloni, Polamusa, Deranoi, Urandra, Atandra, Remusa. Wow, 6 tuplets. Hepathoe. Where are Homotoe, Alkibi, and Antibrotai? We are right here, Your Majesty. What of... Good Lord, can we stop? What of Derimachi or Thermodosa? We are at your command, Your Majesty. Say the word and our spears will run red with our enemy's blood. Jeez, the Amazons do not have a lot of genetic diversity, it seems. There's something about your faces and equip that seems different, somehow. Well, I suppose that's to be expected after marching all the way here. They've responded to my call and so can only be my subordinates. Very well then, attention my 12 elite warriors, saviors of Troy. The time for battle is at hand. Oh, just we're all on the same page. The enemies are the guys coming in from over there. Hector, I have no objection to you or your army joining the battle, but do not interfere with us. Oh, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see the writers deciding to do those names as Trolly, because nobody can pronounce them that is not Greek, I imagine. Oh, good gracious. Got the yawns today. If you or any of your men come near us, I cannot promise you will survive doing so. Thanks. Good thing I warned them ahead of time. Besides, this old man has never been one to stay near the front lines, and that's not about to change now. Gotta say, though, it looks like she's really not seeing anything besides the enemies right in front of her. Oh, guess this is a good chance to get her warmed up. Okay, Master, let's start with Phase 1. Let's not get hurt, everybody. My Amazons, we are the proud, fearless descendants of Ares. We know neither fear nor defeat on the battlefield. We know only victory in the blood of our foes. Our enemies will know only fear and despair as they die. Your queen commands you. Roar. Wow, it's just a pulsating screen effect. Not any actual dialogue, just the screen pulsations. Is there roars? I brought the wrong Scotty type. Whoopsie. I brought Caster Scotty, not Ruler Scotty. I'm a dum-dum. Why didn't I catch that? Was I yawning when I clicked the Scotty I picked? I wouldn't put it past me. I wouldn't put it past me making an excuse either. I'm terrible, aren't I? You know, half awake or half asleep. Because, I mean, I've been awake for only like 11 hours, so I guess I am approaching the half awake portion of things, aren't I? Good gracious. Gotta get these yawns out of me. Shut up, washing machine. You'll get taken care of later. Okay, now we have a ruler, Scotty. Now we're good. Still not as good as we could be because, again, I'm not doing Koyan here for some reason. Oh, wait, I know. Why am I saying for some reason? I know the reason. It's because I'm lazy and I don't want to change my Bleach Earth farming squad. I will tear you to pieces. I feel like the second one is a bit too flirty there. You really pack a punch! That's how we fight. We have no need for cheap tricks. As a guy who depends on cheap tricks and strategies to stay alive, I gotta say that stings. All that aside, these foes are quite skilled. They make for a good challenge. Oh. The fact that we have yet to completely dominate them after all this fighting speaks volumes. But that would mean I'd need to set up another team slot entirely. And that'd be work. I don't want to set up another slot. Well, they're sure tough. It'd be weird if they weren't. Remember, we're up against the Achaean army. They're sparing no effort to invade Troy and take back Helen after my little brother, Paris, abducted her, and they're totally right to do so. They've even got the gods' blessing, though we do have some gods on our side, too. And then there's all the heroes they've got who are as strong as gods in their own right. Agamemnon, Odysseus, Patroclus, the two Ajaxes. So it shouldn't be long now before you know who shows up. This is the Trojan War, after all. I didn't know Voldemort was back in ancient Greece. Wow. Huh. And to think he still got done in by a 17-year-old. Oh, Voldy. Come on, Penthiselia. We've got to be warmed up by now, right? Isn't it about time you remembered who's supposed to be on this battlefield more than anyone? Yes, you're right. I do know who should be here. I can even smell him now. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's over there. There you are. Achilles! Caster Fish Eyes. Alright, moving him to the top of the level up order dock. Nice. I'll kill you this time I will kill you. Alright, time for phase 2. This works. Man, do I hope this works. I mean, it kind of depends. Like, if he tries to do to the clock tower what he did to Hogwarts, yeah, he's getting rinsed. One of the few characters you liked in Fate Zero. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Everybody's got favorite servants, and Caster Giles, nothing wrong with him being yours. He's just a little cuckoo. Oh yeah, Gramps would destroy Voldy. But like, I mean, I could foresee Voldy trying to be in a Holy Grail war. Gosh, he'd definitely go for something snake or like. I feel like he would not want a caster class servant to be summoned. Once read a fic where Gramps said that. Oh yeah, I could see it. Gramps definitely feels like a whole if you try to evade death, nice try sort of situation. But I feel like I read a Harry Potter... Yeah, ORT would have absorbed Voldy. I feel like I read a Harry Potter fake crossover at some point. The only thing about it I can remember was I think Harry somehow ended up on the Shapeless Isles, and Stheno and Uriel were like mother figures for him or something? I think that's the only Fate Harry Potter crossover I've read. And even then, that sounds not completely right. I know Stheno and Uriel were involved, though. Pretty positive they were. Alright. But fine. I will do the copy-paste thing. Which party can I get rid of? You know, I could get rid of parties, or I guess I could just modify this one. I completely forgot I already set up a party. Oh boy, I have some egg on my face. I've got egg on face. Alrighty, that should do. Adopted by Mash and Rashida. Interesting. They're just now doing year on 1. Ooh, that's gonna be wild. Hey, Janice, welcome to stream. Happy things. And yes, you are Infinity Lord. Yes, you are. I mean, gosh, actually, it's weird that the graduation is so late. Like, I feel like when I graduated high school, I was done early May. If you don't mind me asking, Infinity Lord, when did you start this last, like, year of high school? Did you have a September start or something? I guess that would explain it, but thank you, Zahak. I will take a look at that. Is it on Archive or fanfiction.net, out of curiosity? Achilles. You're dead. Weird. Yeah, my high school semester started, like, mid-August and ended in May. Like, early May, I think, is when I graduated. Damn, she's already so far gone, she hasn't even noticed she's already killed him, huh? Guess she went from warmed up to overheated. Still, this isn't over yet. Excuse me. That is not. Da Vinci ought to be playing her cards any moment. There we go. And that. I won't get away this time. What? Oh no. He's learned the shadow clone technique. How was this? No, I know you, Achilles. You're fast. You're quick, speedy, agile. Is that why I see so many of you? Is this some trick you're playing with that incredible speed? Enough. If that is your game, then I shall simply crush every last one of you. Run as fast as you and far as you like. I will always find you and kill you. You will never escape death at my hands. So if I crush every single one of you that stands before me, your vaunted speed will be meaningless. Yes. Looks like even her capacity for speech is starting to go. That's a berserker for you. I'm sorry, Hector. That was pretty, like, decently eloquent as far as a manner of speech. Far more so than Heracles. He just roars, man. Don't get too close, Master. There's a much greater chance for you getting hit by accident now. At this point, she probably thinks anything that moves is Achilles. If she starts getting too close, I'll have to use Durindana at full strength to keep you safe. If it comes to that, either she or I might end up dying, but that's a risk we'll just have to take. Sheesh, this old man doesn't like working so hard, but what can you do? Don't worry, Master. I'll make sure to hand you off to someone else if it looks like things are gonna take a turn for the worse. Mash would never forgive me if something happened to you, after all. I'm curious about something. Please try not to die out there, Hector. I need to check something here. No, I'll try, believe me, but the thing about the Trojan War is sometimes there's no helping what happens. I guess it must just be a regional thing, perhaps. Or maybe every school's different? I don't know. There's gods and heroes, resentment and obsession, honor and arrogance, vice and morals. Any of those things on their own would be enough to fill you up, and every one of them is out here in spades. And that's before you have the goddess of fate stepping in and stirring the pot even more. It's terrifying even for a battlefield. Anything could happen here and anyone could bite it at any time. Honestly, I still can't believe I managed to survive for 10 years. But this isn't the real Trojan War. Oh yeah, good point. This is just a simulation, huh? Guess I got so caught up in it I didn't even notice. Well, that's embarrassing. Of course, Penthiselia is still real, and so is her madness. That's why I'm out here doing this, and why I'm scared shitless. Okay, Hector, you are not a freaking old man. Okay. I was curious, because he keeps calling himself an old man. So I looked it up. There's no definitive age, but his age is anywhere from his late 20s to his late 30s. So no, Hector, you are not an old man. We need to stop him from calling himself an old man, because late 20s or late 30s are not old. There's no telling what she'll have to destroy to satiate her frenzy, or even what she wants to destroy. The best we can do is make an educated guess. Achilles, son of Peleus. Look at me. Look and see the proud Amazon warrior. Then fight me. Fight me as a fellow warrior. No more, no less. I'll never let you speak that word again. Not ever. I'm not beautiful. I'm not even a woman. I'm only a warrior. Now fight me, Achilles. Yeah, it's the B word. Gotta be careful with the B word around her. So many Achilles to deal with. I don't foresee them being an issue. Hence, I know you'd love to fight here, but to be honest, I don't want this taking like 3 turns. So yeah. Let Arash just take your place, Penthiselia. Yeah, there's a lot of celery, isn't it? Ooh, close to a one-shot from Arash. Looks like it was damage range, though. But we got enough Busta to take care of business. And that's another interlude completed. Oh, that's a lot of proofs of heroes. I don't know if I really needed a lot of those, but they're appreciated all the same. I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Achilles, Achilles, Achilles! I'll kill you. I'll kill. She stopped. Is her rage petered out? Enough. I understand now. Even my rage cannot endure a fight after fighting so many unsatisfying opponents. This battlefield, these Achilles, they're all false, are they not? Yep, the detective and the professor guy figured out instead of trying to keep your rampages in check, it'd be better for you to get it all out of your system, so to speak. That said, you need not tell me. I would recognize that scent anywhere. These false Achilles all smell like the real one. They may not be nearly as strong as him, but they have exactly the same essence. Creating copies this elaborate should be impossible unless the real Achilles was here to help in creating them. He did help. And that means he is here at Chaldea. And the fact that he would try to placate me with this game means that this is what he wants. How dare he relegate me to fighting these pale imitations rather than facing me himself? Oh crap, not again. Still. I guess she really didn't have enough gas left in the tank to get going again. Thank goodness she burned herself out a bit. Hector, Master, I think I finally understand. He has no intention of fighting me, does he? No, he does not. I still think my plan was the better plan, you know. I definitely think my plan could have forced cooperation. Would have, you know, forced them to work together to save me. I definitely feel like that could have worked. Even if I were to encounter him now, he would decline the battle. Most likely, he would simply offer his life as a sacrifice to my rage. And that means he still does not see me as a worthy opponent. Looks like she finally figured it out. Now the question is, what's going to change? Unfortunately, as much as we might have the whole death by Achilles thing in common, I don't think anything I could say will get through to her. She and I are just too alike, at least when it comes to stuff like this. But you, Master, you're nothing like us, in a good way. If you talk to her, she might just listen. So, would you mind giving it a shot? May I speak, O Queen of the Amazons? Yes, just be stronger. That's definitely what we want. We want her bloody rampage to become even more bloody when she becomes strong and loses control again. Makes perfect sense to me. What a ludicrously simple idea, Master. But the Amazon way of life, our manner of fighting, has always been simple. We move forward and crush those who stand in our way. That is all there has ever been for us. What's more, I am their queen. I could not hope to change that at this point, even if I wished to. Yes, you're right. You may well be the only way. I once thought that if I become a man like Leontius' grandfather, Canis, that would solve this problem, and I see now that it would not. Okay, interesting, because again, this came out during Epic of Remnant, so before Canis was introduced. So, I wonder if they had already decided to go with the current Canis design as it is at this point, or if they changed their mind and they were going to make Canis male, and then decided to not go with that. Because, I mean, while gender bending and stuff is a big thing as far as Fate goes, and Canis is a very classical example of it, Penthiselia, I mean, obviously it is known in the Greek mythos that this would be a thing, so... nothing wrong with Penth being a grailed servant. I've grailed very few servants, and I need to... Okay, I gotta remember. I need to grail Summer Zhalter. I really need to get her level 100, so she is equal with all the other waifus. I think I gotta do, Idle Achan as well, thinking about it. In the end, all I can do is grow strong enough that he will not be able to ignore me. Strength. Yes, strength. That is the only helmet that will hide my womanly features from Achilles' eyes. And it's the only thing that'll compel him to see me as a warrior. And if there is one form of strength that is vile to me to possess, one I've neglected thus far. Sounds like she's finally taking a step forward. I hope it helps her keep cool from now on. That is where you come in, Hector. What do I have to do with this? You'll help me, Hector of the Shining Helmet. My offense is impeccable, but my defense is lacking. I've never endeavored to correct this. That means I have room to improve, which in turn means I have room to grow stronger. You, Hector, are the opposite of me. You specialize in defense, as proven by your successful defense of Troy for 10 years. And so I demand you teach me what you know. As long as it does not clash with Amazon tradition, I will gladly accept any and all instruction. No, now that I think about it, I can simply adapt your teachings to our own style. Perhaps it could culminate in an offensive defense capable of killing one's enemies. Yes, I'd like that. Let's get Penthiselia watching Dragon Ball Super so she can learn about Ultra Instinct, and because that's the perfect blend of offense and defense. And she's already got the white hair, so just saying, maybe Ultra Instinct is the way she needs to go. Good luck, Hector. You're gonna need it. This isn't what I signed up for. Sounds like a pretty big ask, too. Still, I guess I owe you for picking up my slack on Troy. This ought to be more than enough to pay off my debt. And you do seem to understand that our fighting and strategy is going to be more different, thankfully. Maybe it's best if I just give you the tools you need to improve your defense and let you focus on how to make use of them. I mean, the main thing you're looking for is strength that you can't just shrug off, right? I've got plenty of insults that are guaranteed to push Achilles' buttons, so if you start with those... Achilles? Uh-oh. Oh, come on, you gotta be freaking kidding me. We've only been talking for a few minutes here. Don't tell me the whole calm mode thing is over already. You said Achilles, I heard you. What's more, I can smell him. I smell him everywhere. That must mean you are Achilles. So what, we went through all that for nothing? Man, I should have known a berserker couldn't change. You know what? A fair point. Hector's frustration is understandable, but misguided. She most assuredly has changed. And that change may be nothing more than the fact that her face is no longer twisted with her usual fury, but that just goes to show how hot her anger burns. Indeed, as long as we manage to snuff out even a tiny fragment of that anger that lies deep in her spirit origin, this was not for nothing. Right now, that may amount to no more than the most minuscule of changes, but that doesn't mean it may never extend to the rest of her anger. Man! You know, it sure is odd. She is quite angry. And she kind of wants... Her anger is kind of hateful, isn't it? Really a hateful anger, and she almost seems to want some form of vengeance. Doesn't she? Man. Someone should really teach her that the path to humanity has no room for anger and vengeance on it. Absolutely no room on the path to humanity for those two things. So what's your take on this? Well, I'm gonna say the fact that she hasn't noticed my presence even at this distance means your scheme must have worked. Those dolls of me she demolished must have really permeated this place with my scent. That's why she doesn't know I'm really here. I appreciate the praise for how well the decoys I had you help me worked. But you know, that's not what I was asking. Indeed, there's a reason for the dismembered bodies to be dismembered, but that's only one part of it. The entire reason my villainous self and the great detective suggested the trick in the first place is because it was important that you be here. It was just as we first said. If you and Penthiselia's mismatched goals are the cause of this discord, it falls to both of you to repair it. In other words, there is something you need to understand just as much as she does. Yeah, I know I do. Man, you intellectual types never shut up. Don't worry, I get it now. Maybe not completely, but after seeing that face of hers, I can't help but get where she's coming from. Really? So, then what are you gonna do now? Nothing. She wants to give me she wants me to give her a rematch where I don't think of her as a beautiful woman, right? I can't do that. I mean, I can see his point of view. Really? I can? Especially because he fought her when she was older. Like, more grown. I believe it is canonically. And she's specifically summoned. She made sure that she can only be summoned as a younger form of herself to try and get away from the B word. Might not have talked to her since I came to Chaldea, but I can tell just by seeing her now. Penthiselia might be younger now than she was back then, but she's attracted to her personality! And not her personality, but her personality. Achilles is... I mean... Considering how many white-haired evil women the Master of Chaldea falls for, we really cannot fault him for finding a white-haired... Gosh, she's not even a yandere at this point. Or maybe she's like a scorned yandere because she wants to kill him? I don't know. I really don't know how to classify her relationship with him. And me just sort of blurting that kind of stuff out is what got us here in the first place, right? I get that. I do. As that knowing smile I see, they do say great men have a great fondness for sensual pleasures, so I would not be at all surprised to learn you're one of them. Nah, it's not that. It's just, I can't help thinking what I think. So I at least want to be honest about it. Like you were when you defeated her during the Trojan War, and rather than expressing relief at hard-won victory, exclaimed on her beauty. Ouch, you detective types really don't pull your punches, do you? But, yeah, basically. When has he talked about Patroclus? I don't know how to pronounce that name. Still, I want to say at least this. Even I wouldn't usually say something like that in a battle. Of course I wouldn't. Oh. come on, don't act so surprised. I know you're supposed to treat your opponents with respect, no matter how strong they are. Shiroin taught me that a long time ago, but even so. Even so. Penthiselia, huh? You can't see her face at all under that helmet. All those rumors about her being beautiful were probably just made up. You beast. Was it not enough for you to kill my Amazons? Now you'd humiliate me as well. Gotcha. Even so, sometimes things just slip out. And back then with Penthiselia, I just couldn't help it. Achilles. I'm not saying I don't regret it, but what's done is done. I can't fix it now. And you know what? I wouldn't want to even if I could. What I did might have been mean and cruel, but I did it. It's part of who I am. I gotta own that. Man, a lot of these interludes are just about servants acknowledging that, yeah, I might have fucked up in the past, but it's in the past. What you gonna do about it now? Not gonna pretend like it never happened. But don't you think it's sad? Sad? Nah. She and me will always be enemies, no matter what. And that's okay. Otherwise, we'd have never met. Such events as leave their indelible marks during our lifetimes inevitably form the very foundations of who we are. That goes for the good as well as the bad. If it were up to me, I would like nothing more than to strike my tumble down the falls from the record, but of course I can't and I shouldn't. I suppose this just goes to show what a deep impression she left in your memory. Both the fact that she was beautiful and the fact that you witnessed her beauty. I'm not gonna say what I did was good. She's got every right to hate me for it, even if it does make my life kind of rough at times. I mean, you could try and pull a Seba and just say, yeah, I want to press undo. Or Emiya, yeah, I want to press undo. Or Media. Thinking about it, she kind of, well, she didn't really want to press undo, she just wanted a redo of life. There are a lot of servants that are kind of regret and actively want to change their pasts. Or rather, they would if given the chance. But you know, even with all that, if I had a choice between never having met her, or doing what I did and getting to see how beautiful she was under that helmet, I'd take calling her beautiful and having her loathe me for it any day of the week. That's a bold decision, Achilles. Very bold, bold man. Who was that? Who just said beautiful? Give me a freaking break here, as if my life isn't hard enough. As it is he doing this on purpose? No, I bet he doesn't even realize he's doing it. That's just how this mess got started in the first place. Alright. And what is our reward? I think this is a skill upgrade, perhaps? As well as some quartz. Gotta love the quartz. Nom nom nom. Oh no, it was just quartz. Well, that's kind of disappointing. It's just quartz. Sad. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna do the Astrae interlude next. And then we will go from there to determine what we do next. I'm curious, how much... Okay, so I got roughly 7k, 6.5k from just that interlude. That's good. Yeah, so I definitely think I will have the backline 3 up to Bond 13 by summer at this rate. You will be held to account for your sins. You will be held to account for your sins. You will be held to account for its sins. Sin of pride, sins of envy, sins of sloth, sins of greed, sins of gluttony, sins of wrath, sins of lust, sins of murder, sins of adultery, sins of duplicity, sins of deceit, sins of thievery, sins of slander, sins of frivolousness, sins of ignorance. The people of the world must be held to account for their sins. Here in this dream, your sins are... You did not. Well, in case you are not here or anything on stream, then a happy early birthday to you, Infinity Lord. But yes, the level up dock is open. Am I dreaming? Of course we're dreaming. When aren't we dreaming? Hello. So we are in a dream now. Astrae! What a strange dream. Why are we in a prison cell? This doesn't seem to be a race ship, nor is it simply the product of an overactive imagination. Yes, we're in a dream, but we seem to actually be in another world. Ooh, I wonder, are we in the, prison inside of our mind once more? If anything, it feels more like Sybil's prophetic dream. It appears we can't get in touch with Chaldea either. Have you had these sorts of dreams before? Oh, loads of times. Robin Hood? Alright, alright. Unbelievable. Even in the Age of Gods, it was rare for anyone to slip into other worlds through their dreams. Man, we are something special, aren't we? 1 to Nightingale and 2 to Robin. At any rate, I presume your experience means you know how to escape one of these. You will need to find what caused it to begin with. So, Robin is a 6, so it moves him up to position 7. Thank you for telling me where Nightingale was. Tell me, do you recognize this place? The prison tower. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Maybe, maybe. Then someone or something you must know has called you here. You know what? I will send you positive vibes and energy. I will not wish luck because it was proven a few years ago that my wishing luck tends to cause bad luck. So, I don't want to curse you. Then someone or something you know must have called you here. Pressed a button. I swear you should thank your lucky stars I was called here with you. With me here, your safety is all but guaranteed. Now, come on, Master. Let's get going. Where are we going? Where else? There's only one path in this prison, so we just need to follow it. Don't worry, I'll bring whoever caused this dream to justice. It stinks of mold in here, and of sin, too. Now I see exactly why I was called here. You do? Oh, why is that? Sorry, I'm trying to twist and seal the cap on my water bottle, and it's not staying sealed. I want it airtight, because otherwise it's going to inflate. I think I crushed it in a way that the cap's not going to go on. Of course, it's clear someone in this world needs me to pass judgment on something. After all, where there is sin, there must also be judgment. How else could society function? There we go. Got it. For example, maybe a certain goddess decided to sneak into Chaldea's storeroom and take some jewels that didn't belong to her. So many stars. You think you're here as a judge, then? Well, of course, no other job would suit me. Excuse me. And what am I doing here, then? Since you are being kept in a prison cell, you must be a criminal. Are you prepared to face your judgment? I'm only kidding. Still, I may be onto something. Perhaps whoever called us here wanted to have me pass judgment on you. The scent of sin is even stronger over here. This way. I have no idea when this interlude takes place. Okay. So, Mecha Ellie-chan is here, so this is at least post-summer, or post-Halloween 3. Which would be late Epic of Remnant, at minimum. She certainly has the air of Chaldea's Mecha Ellie-chan. Then again, she's always been different from normal servants. Maybe she was drawn into this place just like I was. My scales of justice are tipping. Come, confess your crimes. I did nothing wrong. I was just collecting some energy from Chaldea's magical reactor. It's part of my compensation package. Well, technically I was doing so without permission, but still. Doing that without permission is definitely not okay. Not okay? Don't make me laugh. I've never seen a single status ailment in battle called not okay. As a servant entrusted with Chaldea's safety, I did what I thought was necessary. Besides, crime and punishment are strictly human concepts. Mecha commit no crime. Interesting conceptual thought process. Can a robot commit crime? You're wrong. All intelligent beings can commit crimes, even those made of steel. Alright, judgment has been spoken. If you have intelligence, you can commit crimes. Therefore, I will suplex you the same as I would anyone else who had committed a crime. How do you get from crime to suplexes? The goddess has spoken. Come, master, let us see justice done. Man, I really shouldn't tell her about my crimes. Because apparently, and I don't remember how this came up as a topic of conversation, but it did. But when I was a baby, supposedly, according to my parents, whenever they would take me out to restaurants, whenever they would, whenever we got home and, you know, they were changing me out of outside clothes, I would always have spoons from the restaurants stuffed away. As a child, I stole utensils from restaurants. Hey, Velvet, welcome to stream. How be things? It's been a while. Hope you are doing well. Yes, infant me was a spoon thief. Do you think that deserves getting suplexed by Astrae? I certainly hope it does not. Because I do not think I can get... No! I was a child! I was an infant! I was a mere infant! If an infant stole in front of her, would she suplex the infant? Gasp! For shame, Astrae, for shame. 1, 2, 3. There, I've pinned you. Using pro wrestling moves on a mecha doesn't mean you're familiar with the classic tokusatsu films. I have no idea if I pronounced that word properly. Oh, she just went poof. She vanished, but it seems she's returned to Chaldea, not the throne. I'll have to make her give back the excess energy she appropriated once we get back to Chaldea ourselves. In the meantime, the door over there opened. It seems whoever brought us here is calling on us to proceed. No. I honestly have never heard that word before just reading it right now. Well, and swear on my heart, I've never heard that word before. Come on, Master. At least I don't remember hearing that word. Okay, is this a comment? I need to look up this word now. What does this word stand for? Tokusatsu. While we do that, we're gonna get another one loaded up. Okay. Oh! Okay, It's a genre. Okay, it's a genre. Okay. I guess I've technically watched those kinds of shows. Because I recall watching Power Rangers growing up. And Beetleborgs. I was always a bigger fan of Beetleborgs than I was of Power Rangers, though. Even though I know that's not the... I know there's all Sentai shows in Japan. I did not know... I thought they were Sentai shows. I didn't know that they were Tokusatsu shows. Unless they're kind of different things, but can also be the same thing, maybe? Somebody once told me I was a fool. That they couldn't believe I still hadn't figured it out. I don't blame them. It's true. I was a fool back then. I refused to listen to anyone stubbornly insisting on only doing what I thought was right. I thought as though I'd gotten into my head that acting tough was the only way I could protect myself. I wonder if I were still like that now. How might I have replied? Man, acting tough is the only way to protect oneself, huh? I know that feeling. Man, why is it whenever Dante's is involved, like, he touches on Something that I feel on a somewhat personal level, man. So this is where the door led. So many stars. Yes, it's beautiful. You know, I return to the starry sky in my myth. I don't remember it very well, though, since I'm now much better known in my capacity as Lady Justice. I must say, I never thought I would get to see such a lovely starry sky while inside a dream. You're avoiding the second ordeal call for as long as you can. Oh, Mecha Ellie-chan was referring to Ultraman, gotcha. I don't blame you, Velvet. The second ordeal call was quite the, no pun intended, ordeal. It had some amazing moments. Truly, truly amazing moments it had. But there are also some moments as well. Okay, I refuse. I've already gone on so many rants about the nonsensical reasoning for the Avengers going away at the end of Ordeal Call 2. It makes no sense. They say to hate is not needed for humanity. Hatred is a very human emotion. They say that we should not bring Avengers back to proper human history. The very next Olga Marie quest, we get to add pretenders to human history. You know, something that Chaldeus literally made themselves. Oh, we don't want to bring all this hatred into proper human history, but something made by the alien god? Yeah, that seems like it could fit right in. Like, make coherent sense. Ugh. But again, it had some beautiful moments in it, and honestly, Shelter is probably gonna be, gosh, it's all gonna depend on this summer. Depending on how this summer goes, the waifu rankings are gonna be really, really difficult to place, because I mean, Melt's number 2 just because of her big sacrifice play and how emotional that was. Jolter is now tied for number 2, and Aresh has a chance to be tied for number 2 as well, depending on how this summer goes. It's like, they know. Actually, that says more about me. Am I kind of basic as far as my waifu considerations in FGO? Are my waifu considerations very basic in general? I mean, I know that a lot of people don't care for MASH, but are Melt, Jolter, Aresh, Kama, Achan, are they all common waifus? You're no longer with me because you use servants that aren't usual class, like you're punished for... Exactly. It makes no sense, Velvet. I'm just hopeful that we will see Jolter return as like that's kind of what I thought was going to happen towards the end there. Just because like Jolter was kept injuring herself more and more. It would have been so thematically cool if like Dante's Jolter, or like just in general, if Jolter returns after maybe burning through and having a brand new spirit origin or something like that. That's still Jolter, but like an ascended form of her, kind of like we have a different form of Dante's or something. A lot of common waifus and evil women. So I am kind of basic for my tastes in waifus. Gotcha. What about Ortland? Ortland is close. She kind of just needs more character development. And Marie Alter kind of is going to be placed pretty high as well. Gosh, I am so basic. What does it say that I like white-haired evil women? What does that say? Path continues on this way. I guess this means we're supposed to follow it. The scent of sin is heavy in the air ahead, so it seems we have no choice anyway. Okay, Ortland gets a pass. Yes. the audacity of one of the latest Avengers having a line that they'll disappear like one of the others once things are done. Alright, Infinity Lord. I know you can do it. Believe in the you that believes in the me, but that believes in you, and you will succeed. But yeah, I mean, again, I really don't see the point in taking away our servants. Like, you can only do it so many times before it just gets kind of like, oh, dang it, why are you doing that again? Because, I mean, it almost feels like they're stepping on Musashi's toes, for lack of a better word. Like, Musashi had a huge sacrifice, and there's been, like, no more Musashi. She is gone. And even then, Romani as Solomon had one before her. They can only do that so many times before it just stops losing its kick. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. Happy things. Yes, especially after ORT. Good lord, after ORT. We need the break. Stop taking our servants away. Let's go. I'm really worried for the foreigners. Because, like, if there's anything that might be a threat to humanity, it would be the foreigner class servants. You know, conduits for beings that literally drive people mad. Pulled an all-nighter? Oof. I cannot tell you the last time I pulled an all-nighter, man. But I hope you got some good rest. Certainly is a long path, isn't it? You'd think we get wherever we're going much more quickly in a dream. By the way, aren't you at all afraid? What am I supposed to be afraid of here? That I might have been called here to pass judgment on you, like I mentioned before. Well, it kind of depends. The only foreigners not related to the old ones are Alco, Voyager, and No, MHXX is related to capitalism, and everybody knows that capitalism is a great old one. MHXX is given power by capitalism, as proven in the foreigner-based event, the Deep Sea thing. But yeah, I'm not afraid of being passed judgment on, depending on when this takes place. If this is taking place after we've, wiped out a few timelines, then yeah, that could be quite bad. Imaginary scramble, that sort. Thank you. Perhaps there's a sinner to you remember committing. Okay, yep, it takes place. It takes place. Yeah, this is... Koyan? I mean... Maybe. Okay, technically us, Koyan as well. Koyan's a kind of a weird case, though, because she kind of wants to leave the planet. It's really weird why they chose Foreigner for her, in fact, but... I mean, even then... Koyan's not a great example of somebody that is not a threat to humanity. True, destroying a lost belt could certainly be considered a grave sin. If you like, I could give you a fitting punishment here and now, dream or not. What do you say? I think it would help you feel better, don't you? I feel like this interlude should have been played a lot sooner. Because this is definitely getting into the, we feel bad for wiping out people thing. Do you really mean that, or are you just acting tough, or is this just an excuse to postpone your judgment? No comment. The scent of sin is getting stronger. Then this new criminal must be close. I'm gonna look up foreigner servants. Betty! Master. Oh yes, I know you. You're the famous Bedivere. The Knight of the Round Table who refused to return the sacred sword. I'm going to be very slow, because the Fate Grand Order fandom tends to order things by, release, so I'm going to go servant by servant and not get spoiled. It's one of the rare instances where I'm glad my laptop is so slow to load things up, because even though the page has been open for, a minute now, no images have loaded. Yes, it's true. I was unable to return the sacred sword, which led to King Arthur changing. If only I hadn't committed that sin. My king would never have met such a terrible end. It's not your fault, Betty. Yes, I'm sure I've seen Chaldea's records, and I have no doubt that you are a knight of great integrity. But the fact remains that you committed a sin. Okay, Kukulakan, yeah, not connected to a great old one, just connected to ORT. I feel like Nock is connected to one, though. And Wangina, as she is technically kind of a great old one, because it's weird. That was your sin committed with the best of intentions. That your sin was committed with the best of intentions is immaterial. Exactly, a sin is a sin. Master and I have yet to be absolved of mine. Please, pass judgment on me, Lady Justice. I think that's the reason I'm here today. Well said. Okay, so in order of release, we have Abigail, Hokusai, XX, Yu, Voyager, who is not connected to a great old one, as far as we know. Who knows what truly dark secrets Voyager may or may not be hiding. Also, it occurs to me that Aresh is not going to be the best for this, but almost. Then we have Summer Abbey. Then can go. Mysterious Idol Exalter, okay. She is from the Servant verse, mind you, so who knows, really? Koyan of Darkness, fair. Kuzulakan, Nock, Wangina, Outgo. And with Alku's, I'm not going to scroll down any further to not get spoiled for any future foreigners. Also, I was right. Aresh is really not going to be doing too well on this, but I'm committed. I could, probably. Is Yarn... Great Old One is a very specific classification of things. Because Lovecraftian mythos has more than just Great Old Ones. Okay, ads. Stop doing stuff. I want to check something. Boop, boop. I know what Wangina is, but in the context of the type of moon, or at least in the context of FGO, she's kind of like one because she is a spirit that may have originated on Earth, but then she literally traveled the cosmos, became gigantic enough that she is bigger than the planet, and returned with no real memory, with very vague memories of Earth. So, maybe not Great Old One, but I can see why she would be considered a foreigner. Come on. Google search. There is not a lot of there's not a lot of results when I look up Yarandu. Okay, it's Australian indigenous name for the Southern Cross constellation. So, Nock's other name is for a constellation in the night sky. It looks like. So, stars. I mean, I can see more now why she would be considered a foreigner, at least. Aren't you going to finish me off? What for? Accountability is meant to benefit both the individual and society as a whole. It should be easy enough to understand how society benefits. Crimes must be punished in order to maintain order. But the individual who benefits the most from being held accountable is actually the criminal. After all, as long as time only flows one way, people can never truly atone for their sins. Even if a thief were to pay back the original owner a sum greater than the valuables they stole, they will never be able to erase the theft itself. Did she? I don't recall that. Similarly, injuries we inflict on others may heal, but the fact that we injure them will never change. Though, I might not remember that just because that was a long summer event. Like, good gracious, each of the clubs had such long individual storylines. That's why we have accountability. Only punishment can absolve a sinner of their sins. Punishment is the key to absolution. Bedivere, you already repaid your debt to society when you returned the sacred sword during that singularity. The only thing that remained was your individual regrets, so that is what I passed judgment on. I mean, fair. And if I have all goddesses say your sins are absolved, then it must be so. Are you still unsatisfied? To be fair, they very well could have created another class for Aoko. Just like, doesn't Arcroyd have a class when she is in the Moon Cell or something? Doesn't she technically have the funny vamp class or something? So, I mean, they could have given her a unique class. They really could have, but they didn't want to for some reason. It's very arrogant of you, but also very refreshing. Once we wake up back in Chaldea, you, the king with the lance, and I should have tea together sometime. He certainly put up a tremendous show of courage, didn't he? But I suppose I expect no less from a criminal who bore the sacred sword for 1,500 years. The Traveler. You know, I could see that. Now then, I see the path continues in that direction. Shall we? Just like Voyager is technically the Voyager class. And they just plopped him into the foreigner class for reasons. Which means we just need to get Gilgamesh in the Gilgamesh class. I heard the same thing so many times. People said that I should have let go sooner, that I should have given up sooner. They said that what I was doing was meaningless and worthless and that I should just stop. Right. That's right. Worth. Back then, worth. Value was my justification. Tell me, Master, what do you make of the people we've encountered thus far? Very disconnected. A steel robot and a silver knight. Perhaps they were here because they sympathized with your sins. Or perhaps... maybe Betty, but definitely not. Yeah, they don't really have anything in common. Her conduct aside, the robot said something which raises a very key question. Are humans the only beings capable of sin? Nope. Anything intelligent can sin. We've established this. For instance, if a sword is used as an implement of murder, would we put the sword on trial? We would never put the sword on trial, would we? Well, if the sword is intelligent, then maybe, but it is very rare to find an intelligent sword. Fun fact, with Yester being the final official Pokemon tournament in Scarlet Violet, every restricted legendary that came out in Scarlet Violet won at least one tournament in the Scarlet Violet era. Oh. Who won? Out of curiosity. No, we wouldn't put a sword on trial. The sin belongs to the sword's wielder. Of course, in Mecha Ellie-chan's case, she has her own unique form of intelligence, so I decided she also had her own unique form of sin. But that raises the question of whether that logic can be applied elsewhere. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it sounds dull as hell. Go Golden! Funny running into you here, boss. So you are our next sinner, Sakata Kentoki. And what sins might have you committed? Oh man, this is about sins, huh? Yeah, of course I've sinned. Just living, eating, and stepping on the ground means you're gonna end up carrying a whole bunch of sin. As long as you're alive, you just gotta accept that that's the way it is and keep going. Astonishing. Spoken like a true hero. Miraiden won the most, and then Karaiden and Terapagos finally got their first win yesterday. Hey, congrats, Terapagos, congrats. Unlike the other two, you clearly someone for whom individual absolution means absolutely nothing at all. Your mindset befits the truly strong. You have made peace with sins most could never face. So yes, there will be no benefit holding you to account for your individual sins while you are alive, and will refrain from judging the potential benefit to society. However, you are not alive anymore, are you? Nope. Now that I'm a servant, it's definitely a different story. That's probably why I was called here. At this point, I don't mind letting your skills test me. In fact, I've been looking forward to it. But I gotta warn you, when those skills test me, I'm gonna test them right back. And while I'm at it, goddess of the skills, I better warn you that even unarmed, I can hit as hard as an axe. So how about it? You ready to take an axe bomber lariat with an actual axe? Bravo, that was some magnificent trash talk. Scratch that. Very well, I will see what you're made of, Golden Oni. Man, what sin could Kentoki have committed? Like, he's a good guy. If you ask Raiko, he could commit no sins. And all of his interactions with Shuten are on Shuten's head. Quite literally with Raiko's opinion, but you know. Raiko should be the one here. She is a little Pokeballs. Alright. Beep, boop, bop. Stretch. Oh, I've been hurting for some reason. Felt hard. I don't know why, I just had a little bit of pain with stretching with my abs. Damn, that was a crit! 73k crit. Arash is not playing around. Incineroar won the most tournaments, and the ones who won the least with 1 wins, there's 33 different mods. Damn. Putting all matters of justice aside for a moment and speaking strictly professionally, that was absolutely freaking incredible, and thank you! What are you talking about? I didn't do anything worth thanking me for. Hell, I ought to be the one thanking you. It's been a long time since I got to have fun. To have a fun all-out brawl feels real golden, you know? I see, then you truly have no need for individual absolution, just as I thought. Well, I don't know about that. But I like that I don't need to hold back around you, just like I don't with Boss Raiko. Let's do this again sometime after we get back to Chaldea, even if we have to use the simulator. Excuse me. Assuming we remember what took place in the stream, I'd be glad to. Awesome. I'll see you when you get back, thanks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember just fine. Bye, Kentoki! You have my heartfelt gratitude, Sakata Kentoki. Thanks to you, I now know exactly what's going on with this stream. I still have no idea what's going on with this stream. By retrospect? No, that's not the right word. By converse? It doesn't feel right. Alright, we're going to use a bronze apple so that we can finish off this Astrae one. I tried to give worth as my justification, my answer. I tried to answer across all 3 ages. But I never succeeded. Now, my only choice is... Only choice is what? I must apologize to you, Master. I misunderstood this dream. Oh, and what did you misunderstand? Enlighten us. Very much so. The 3 criminals we've met were not drawn here because of you, but because of me. Or perhaps they were drawn to both of us. Given how much each of them strongly associated with metals, bronze, silver, and gold respectively, they must have been here to represent 3 significant historical ages. What you mean? The top 3 are the dumb cat that terrorized the entire VGC, Fluttermane, the most powerful paradox, and Amoongus, who's been relevant since Black and White. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of amazing that Amoongus is so popular. Why did, Paradox Amoongus... I don't remember what... Actually, no. Why am I saying? Because it doesn't have the... probably doesn't have the same ability. What am I saying? I'm dumb. Back in the time of ancient Greece and Rome, the Age of Mythology was divided into 4 distinct periods. The Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. The Golden Age refers to the period in which Zeus's father, Cronus, reigned from on high. Justice was part of the natural order, eliminating the need for laws or penalties. There was no war, people lived long, happy lives, and everything was beautiful. The Silver Age began when Zeus claimed his father's throne and the 4 seasons began. While this age was sometimes subjected to harsh weather and life was harder than in the Golden Age, on the whole it was a time of peace and plenty. As you can imagine, Sakata Kentoki clearly represents the Golden Age and Bedivere the Silver. And Mecha Elichan's Iron then? No, she would actually be the Bronze Age. You see, the Iron Age is... Oh, it seems we've already arrived before I could finish. A temple. Dante's. Wait. Does that look like someone else to you? What you mean? I see, she hasn't actually materialized here. So she took the form of someone you wouldn't be surprised to see in a dream. Just a moment. I'll use my magical energy to make some adjustments. It's Astrae! Yes, I too am Astrae. I presume you already understand what's taking place here, other me. Oh, yes. Much as I wish I didn't. Have you forgotten, Master? I'm a pseudo-servant. I only exist in this form because a divided divine spirit possessed this vessel. The true divine spirit Astrae is a separate being. The true Astrae. Correct, I'm the true divine spirit Astrae. And I've come here to pass judgment on you, my divided spirit. Passing judgment on yourself. Makes sense. I trust you also know why that is. Of course. Because I swore an oath as a servant to protect my master. Judgment must be impartial above all else. If we were simply protecting humanity, that would have been one thing. Indeed, if anything, I dare say our aiding to the repairing of the 7 singularities and stopping King Solomon would have been supremely impartial. Doesn't apply... Why? Okay. I see that logic. A battle for survival, choosing one side over the other, you cannot possibly be impartial. I mean... It depends on your view of being impartial, I guess? Like... Don't get me wrong, I love Paxi and all that, but... Even in survival, you can be impartial and still help one side? I mean, I know that's the exact... That is not even the definition of impartiality, but, like... She was being impartial to them, you know? Yeah, that's all it is. She's just being impartial to the Lost Belts. By not helping them and helping us, she is not showing us favoritism. She's showing that she's impartial to the Lost Belts themselves. Yeah, she's still showing impartiality. Definitely still showing impartiality. She is impartial to the Lost Belts. She's not helping us. She's just not helping them. Better stats and bulk is it? Its ability and bulk aren't as good. Gotcha. But it hits hard. God. Probably yawn. It doesn't have the... So, not as strong of ability. Gotcha. Not so much support. Okay. No, it's not cope. Astrae is not helping us. She's just not... Or she's helping us and not helping the Lost Belts. So truly, she is balanced. You know? She helps one side and doesn't help the other. That is balance. That is what Uesugi Kenshin did. Yeah, she was the epitome of balance. She didn't mess with others until one side messed with her. And when one side grew too strong, she pretty much wiped out that side. And you know, in retrospective, humanity, aka proper human history, is the weakest of all of them because it only has Chaldea batting for it. So the proper form of impartiality would be to give the weaker side some support. So she was acting with impartiality. She was making sure the scales were balanced by offering the weaker team help. Yes, and that is my argument there. I feel like I've heard of Saul Goodman, but I cannot know who it is off the top of my head. However, if you agree to leave Chaldea now and abandon the battle, I will consider the matter closed. What say you, other me? Master, remember what I was just telling you about? The Iron Age? I just remembered. The Iron Age is when I turned my back on humanity. I was the last of the gods to remain, but eventually I too washed my hands of them. So that's why your true self is iron. All you need to do now is what we did during the Age of Myth. Now come, other me, lay down your sword and scales and take my hand. Astrae. What is it, other me? That's right. Back then I never asked the question I should have. So let me ask you now, Soul. Do you need me? Sure, why not? I mean, I don't use you all that much, but I certainly need all the help I can get. What? What are you saying, other me? You heard me. I asked my master here if he needed me. That's not the issue. We cannot abandon our impartiality. We simply cannot. You're wrong, other me. We should never have abandoned humanity in the first place. On our way here, I asked Master if he would like me to pass judgment on him so that he could feel better. And he replied that now is not the right time. And so I will accompany him to the end of his journey. He's doing nothing more than putting on a brave face and saying that he's all but admitting his immaturity. Yes, he is immature. In fact, now that proper human history and all its worth have been wiped clean, his life has no worth whatsoever. Damn, Astrae! That's harsh! There's no greater meaning or larger reason in him standing here now. I freely admit, it is no more than a brave front. He is merely acting tough. Okay, maybe I don't need you so much! Then why? That's why Sakatakan Togi said he was going to test my skills rather than the other way around. That's why Bedivere showed me the worth is in bravado, that there is worth in bravado. Now I finally understand that in that very facade where humanity's true worth lies. Now you're just playing with words. Not at all. I found Soul's tough act both endearing and inspiring, which is why I recognize his innate worth. Astrae. I once turned my back on all of humanity. At the time, I thought they could never bear the weight of their sins. I love them dearly, yet I still turned my back on them. But I see now that I was mistaken. I should have been willing to engage in my own show of bravado. So now I will say for all to hear that humans I love so dearly, whether they be from the Age of Myth or the modern era, are wonderful beings. They are more than worthy of my protection, and one day they will leave me behind. Even then I will continue to care just as a parent never stops caring for their children, even after they have grown and moved away. It seems you have changed even more than I realized. Well, of course I can change. I'm a pseudo-servant after all, but isn't this what you wished for too? No, I refuse to accept this. I refuse to accept this version of me. That's quite alright. That simply means there's only one thing left to do. Are you ready, Master? I'm ready. Wherever there is sin, I shall be there to pass judgment, even upon myself. Well, as long as I'm not locked to using... Oh, formation limited. Okay, I'm guessing I have to use Astrae. Yep, I have to use Astrae. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. It wants me to use Astrae, but, gonna send in the full Avenger squad all the same. I'm fine with this squad. Yeah, I'm fine with it. That's gonna mean Jolter's a little bit out of sync with the others, but it'll be fine. Divine Radiance and Astral Judgment. Some stars on the field. Shelter a little more. Alright, first, NP from Shelter. She's so strong. I can't wait for her to get an even stronger form. Didn't even need to use her third skill, damn. Jolter is strong. Welcome to the stream, Lucario R. Welcome to the stream. Help since year 6 I focus more on releasing ring up rather than writing interludes. Really? Oh god. Because I am running low on interludes. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong, the rank ups are free quartz, but I have had to slow down on my interlude doing. I can only really do 2 per stream at this point. Because after this, I'll only have 4 interludes left to do. How is this happening? Ordinarily, I couldn't hope to stand up to you, but I knew you wouldn't be able to use your full power here. Also, out of curiosity, who is your favorite servant, Lucario? And that is why you chose to make your way into one of Soul's dreams. So you truly are going to choose your master's side until the very end. Isn't that what you always wished to do yourself? What you mean? I once wanted to believe that humans possessed worth. I never wanted to abandon them. And yet, when the Age of Iron arrived, that's exactly what I did. That may not have been a crime against society, but it is nonetheless a sin I've carried. New Monte Cristo on NA. JP is... I have no idea who that is. Mainly because I am blind to pretty much most of future releases. At this point, the only servants I know are coming out are Summer Aresh this year and Summer Achan. Beyond them, I have no idea who is coming in the future. And I kind of want to keep it that way. I like the surprise. I like the stress when a servant comes out that I do want, and then I have to scramble to get enough quartz to roll for them. Look forward to Summer 9? I look forward to every summer, because every summer has been a banger as far as servants. Gosh. Like, beyond Summer Achan and Summer Aresh that we are getting this year, I mean, most of my waifu servants have gotten a summer variant, so I kind of want to see a Summer Medusa. Like, I really would like to see Summer Medusa, because... especially Saber Medusa. Saber Medusa really has moved Medusa up the rankings for me. Summer 5 roster still feels mid even now. Dang. But beyond Summer Medusa, another servant I would like to see a summer form for. I'm trying to think, who else would I want to see a summer servant for? Summer Lalter. Because we just need more Lalter content in general, you know? Yeah, I mean, I can see that. The Summer Horror, it only had 1 5-star servant. Summer Abbey was the only 5-star servant that summer. It was so weird that they only had Summer Abbey. But yeah, Ilya, Tomoe, Yu. Yeah, Summer Abbey, don't get me wrong, I like Summer Abbey, but she's not the greatest servant. I will freely admit that. But, yeah. Only Ilya, Tomoe, Abby, and Brynhilder. You know, and honestly, I love Summer Brynhilder just because she matched with Sigurd in his summer thing. Oh man, that's some weird static that you just typed out. I don't recognize that name. Yeah. In this stream, that I know who you're talking about because that name always seems to static out for me. You're talking about the bitchiest bitch who ever bitched. It may not be a crime against society, but it is nonetheless a sin I've carried. That's why I've had to pass judgment upon myself. But I'm trying to think some other... It's more that I don't like, but I despise that bitch. A, for what she did to Melt. Like, her actions against Melt have earned her a very permanent ire. But also just for the fact that I don't acknowledge that bitch as a beast. You have to have a love for humanity, and being so self-absorbed and conceited that you love only yourself and thus you qualify to be a beast, that does not sit right with me. No, I mean, there's having ego, and then there's being ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't care for the bitchiest bitch you ever bitch, and I don't consider a proper beast. Ooh, Summer Koyan, that'd be nice. Summer Koyan would be a cool one to get. And they could give us both of the Koyans, thinking about it. Like, do a duo swimsuit servant with both Koyans. Exactly, that is free money Summer Koyan would be. Gosh, who else? Who else could we see as a summer servant? Maybe a summer Matahari? Because I know a lot of people were pissed that Corday got a summer variant before Matahari. So I feel like summer Matahari would make a lot of people happy as well. Individual absolution. I'm glad you remembered. Very well then, here's what I shall do. I'm the court that lies in the stars, I am the sword that passes the sentence. This is the place in which to grant a pardon, this is the time in which to mete out justice. Her second NP! Order returned to us. Iam reditit Virgo. Summer Drake I could see working. That, when we get Summer Drake, it would definitely be another Brobeard heavy summer. We would definitely get more Brobeard, because, you know, Brobeard and Drake, those two are tight. Media. That's right. After playing Hollow Ataraxia, I would love to see... Yeah. That is the issue. The OG Media's VA passed, so they might not recast her, unfortunately. Which would be a shame, because I personally am ambivalent to Media Lily. I do prefer the older Media. The dream is disappearing. My second and noble phantasm returns everything to how it should be. It also restores order and absolves sin. Even I cannot say for sure whether your sins can be absolved, other me. But regardless, it is time for you to leave the stream, you and that master of yours. Divine Spirit. Soul. Do take care of my other self there, if you would. And I would not like that. Like... Personally, the Prillia servants are kind of like what I consider an exception to the child summer servant roster. But I definitely feel like the summer servants should be more waifu bait, essentially. The Prillia ones, I'm fine with it, just because Ilia's was hilarious. You know, having her be a camper and just be absolutely terrified. Kuro, I liked the first Ascension. The other two I could have done without. But, you know, Kuro also made some sense, because they made some precedents with Ilia. And Miu, they can do, I can foresee. I definitely predict that we will get a summer Miu. The tour guide agent, that's right. But I don't know when, because... It was a couple years between Kuro and Ilia, so it's probably going to be a couple years before Miu as well. Plus, I mean, they might wait until Prillia is done, because it is approaching an endpoint, and it is very heavily Miu-focused right now with Prillia, so it's kind of risky. But then again, they've kind of shown they don't really care for the risks, and done some crossover servants already. Ooh, Summer Marie Altar. That's another one I'd like to see. Summer Marie Altar. I want to see that. So we've returned to Chaldea. I see Master is still fast asleep. Well done, Master. May you finally have the sweet dreams you deserve. Never expected to hear that kind of nonsense from Lady Justice. I suppose I should thank you, seeing how Master wouldn't have survived without your protection. Humans are so terribly vulnerable when they dream. I don't know, I feel like Aprilia is definitely coming to an end. They are reaching a bit of a conclusion spot. Ooh! Summer Bizette. She could technically fit in, like, as a Aprilia servant. So a Summer Bizette would be amazing. Yeah, that's another one I want to see. Summer Bizette, please. The vast amount of information that comprises a divine spear could easily ruin a person's mind were it to force its way in. One wrong move, and Master may well have never woken up again. That was the contract. As long as he keeps forging ahead, I'll remain in the depths of his mind as the embers of black flame. In that case, would you be so kind as to assist me? You see, I'd like to dispose of as much extraneous information from that dream as possible by sending it to the void. It's a shame he won't remember the journey we shared, but oh well. Stop with the amnesia plot lines! Sorry about that. Alright, I'll take the information with me. Thank you! I must say, though, it is truly strange. I never dreamed that becoming a pseudo-servant would allow me to take care of my own unfinished business. Sin is hardly the only thing that merits judgment. You of all gods should know that. Well, now what am I going to do? I never could have imagined judgment could be so kind. Thank you, soul. Summer Johanna? You know, I could definitely see Johanna, just because she's not really, like, she had a bit of a role to play in Trom. Then she had the lovey-dovey Valentine's event. If we do get Summer Semiramis and Summer Johanna, then I could definitely foresee Spiriton outfits for What's-His-Face and Amakutsa. Summer Karen? Summer Karen could work. I could see that. Alright, so her NP now ignores invincibility. It looks like before damage as well, so that's really good. Excuse me. And otherwise an overall increase in her power. But I think before we call today's stream, I am going to try and level up the servant at the top of the level up order docket. So first, I'm going to need some foes here. Gosh, I am starting to run low on foes. That's going to be another restriction. Yes, ignore invincibility is always such a strong effect to get. I love it when we get one. When we get ignore invincibility. Alright, so the servant at the top of the level up order docket is Caster Giles. The fish-eyed wizard, mage, not really, whatever, is finally going to get leveled up. Welcome to the stream, Hipper. Welcome to the stream. Kind of coming in towards the end of it, but still, you are welcome all the same. Oh, we got a Caster Giles hater. I mean, I can understand it, but I level up by committee. And committee has dictated Caster Giles is at the top of the level up order docket, so that's why he's getting leveled up. You can rest assured, he's probably never gonna get used unless we get another tower event or another ORT-esque event. Although another ORT-esque event would just be so much freaking stress. Ugh, I don't even remember how long did the ORT raids take me? It was like 4 hours or something, I think. And that was just so much stress. Mainly because of the fact that my phone kept freaking bugging out. But that's beside the point. Ascension. But out of curiosity, Hipper, who is your favorite servant? As I level up a servant, he's a bum. You're not wrong. I, again, don't really care for Caster Giles, but I feel consumed with inspiration. I unlocked an interlude! I'm up to 5 interludes again. Woo! Summer Musashi. Nice, nice. Yep, I gotcha. I can definitely see it. She is very... Honestly, she is a very strong servant. And I do like her design. But I had bigger priorities to roll for that summer, so I didn't get her. I really... Because Melt is... All versions of Melt are, like, second favorite servant of mine. Although, kind of tied with Jalter at this point, so... Yeah. I have to be very conservative with my quartz at this point, because I have no idea what's coming up. Now, this is a masterpiece. And I need to, at the very least, I know that Summer Aresh and Summer Achan are coming this year, but after that, I am blind to the future. And I need to make sure I have quartz in reserve for if any foreigner servants come out, because I've made a promise to have, to make sure I get all of the foreigner servants, rather. Why do I enjoy playing blind? It's more just... There was a time when I did play knowing what the future held, but I want to say it was around the Lost Belt saga, like, maybe halfway through it, where... like, reading spoilers and stuff, it just stopped making a lot of sense in context. And so I sort of started to distance myself from what any of the future things could be, and that gradually evolved from complete avoidance of any story spoilers to complete avoidance of any of the minor events to, at this point, complete avoidance of anything, if possible. I did lie. There is one other piece of future knowledge I do know about, just because it came completely out of left field, but when Strange Fate finished airing, they did, like, a big wrap-up stream. Oh, I already know about Zerkatoria. I already have Zerkatoria, so no worries. You're fine. You're fine, Hipper. That is quite the, Final Ascension artwork. Good gracious, that looks crazy. But, yeah, the wrap-up stream for Strange Fate, where they kind of soft announced the sequel for it, I know what's coming because of that. So, I don't really... I know a couple of those, but that's kind of the extent of Beyond the Summer. And even then, that's like 2 years away, so I'll probably forget, unless Strange Fate airs again. Or unless they drop it early for us, because Richard kind of broke things, apparently, so they could very well break things again. Yes. I look forward to Strange Fate Season 2. I so look forward to it. It is such a good show. So good, so good, so good, so good. Oh, did the applause sound off? Please tell me the applause sounded off. Or did it not work? Okay, good. I did not hear the applause myself, though. I really need to figure out why it played... Okay, I'm glad that I figured out how to get it to play for all of you, but the fact that it still doesn't play for me is kind of annoying. But thank you, Bacon, for sending those all. And welcome to the stream. How be things, how be things. Yep, St. Germain. There's a lot of Strange Fate servants that I really look forward to seeing more of. I know what's happening. I am aware of the light novel and what happens in Strange Fate. And I look forward to seeing the grand conclusion. So I'm gonna be trying to find a way to legally read a translated version of the light novel when it drops this summer. I really want to legally read it. Or at least find out what happens, because there's so much unresolved plot points. And it's gonna be good. Alright. But with Caster Giles as leveled up as possible, I do think that, sadly, you came in towards the end of things, so, because I'm ending the stream right about here. We got some interludes done. We unlocked some rank up quests, which are good. It means more quartz for me, more funds for Summer Ereshkigal, and Summer Achan, and yeah, we'll be seeing how that goes. I sadly think that even next week is going to be another interlude stream. Yeah, good gracious. People put points into doing him, so that's why he's up. But yeah, it's going to be like 2 weeks until we get another event. Good gracious. 2 weeks until another event, at least. I really am running low on interludes, man. I am gotta hope for a lotto event at this point, just so I can get embers to start power leveling more servants, but that is going to be for future me to be concerned about. For now, I've been Soul Rack Dragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to catch more by me, be sure to check out the channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There is plenty of content for all to enjoy. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, description down below as links to the Twitch and Discord if you're watching this on YouTube. But once more, thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody, and thank you, Lucario and Hipper, for joining the stream today. Hope to see you in future ones.